Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Mark, Bruce.
Steve. And we've just finished playing Bora Bora, and Steve's going to explain how to play.
Bora Bora is a heavier. I'm not going to go through anywhere near all the rules in this game, but I'll give you a brief overview. The basic idea in Bora Bora, you are a little tiny tribe on this set of tropical islands, and you're trying to expand your villages out, get more people into your tribe, and accrue points in various ways. It is definitely a point-salad game. And the main idea of Bora Bora is to do with dice. You basically, at the start of your turn, you roll some dice, and they're the actions you can do on your turn. If it was my turn, what I can do, I can take any of these dice, let's say I take this 4, and I can place it on any of the actions you've got over the game. Effectively, they do different things, but some of the actions, like these two, will let you hire men and women. When you get a man or a woman, you take it and you add it into your village here. So I could go there and take that man, because that man was on space 4. As long as I put at least a 4 on there, I can take him. If I want to take this man, I would need a 6. So high numbers are good, but then later on you'll find high numbers maybe not so good. So basically I can take a man and put it there. I can put a priest on the priest track and get a little bonus. I can I'll come to that in a sec. I can travel across water. So you'll notice that this board's full, but at the start of the game, you're going to get one hut in one village. And effectively, you can expand by building another hut anywhere from this one, by playing at least a 3 going across water, a 5 going across water, or a 4 going across land. So if I want to expand my influence, I can take one of these two spots. Let's say I play the 6 here. I can go 6 across land, which means I can place a new hut here. It will give me a bit of a bonus. For example, when I place this hut, I got some wood. When I place a hut here, I get some sand, and you can use that to build buildings. When you get buildings, you effectively, this is stone, wood and sand. When you get stone, wood and sand, you add it to this spot, and then you can use this action over here to build a building. When you build a building, you take one of your buildings. Again, this would need a 1, this would need a 3, so the value of the dice matters. And you take that building, you place it over here. You get some points based on what round it is, and a little bonus action. This game's all about the bonus actions you can take. There's a couple of other spots here. There's a priest track. You put priest on here, get a bonus action, and you can use this action here. This is probably the action you need the biggest dice for. You take this action, and it gives you a multitude of things to do. You can trade in a pip for a point, a pip to activate a man, 2 pips to get various things like more wood or more stone or more offerings. But when you activate a man or a woman, you notice that the men and the women have the symbols on the side of them. Women, when you activate them, you can only activate them once per game. It costs you 1 pip to do so, and you get 3 shells. Men, you get tattoos. So let's say I put a 6 here. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and get 6 shells and 10 tattoos or whatever much it is, and do that. And everyone's going to be doing that, but the key bit is, and the very interesting part of this game is if someone wants to go on an action you've already been on, they need to strictly play a lower dice. So if Jonathan wanted to take this action, he would have to place a lower dice than the 4 that's already there. So you'll find that 6s are really good because they give you really powerful actions, but over the course of the game, if I've gone here and here, Jonathan can't place his 6 now. He might have had to place it before I had a chance to do that, or he might have to place it elsewhere for a less efficient action for him at the time. You're going to do this for effectively 6 rounds of the game, but one of the key bits of the game is that you start the game with some tasks. So you start the game with some tasks down here on your taskbar. At the end of each round, you're going to go through these various bits. Tattoos will give you points and change player order. Priests will score you points based on how many priests you've got. You'll have a chance to use your shells to buy jewellery worth points at the end of the game. And you get to this spot here. Effectively, you're going to start the game with some tasks. So, for example, this particular task says I need 2 people that give me offerings. For example, here's a person that does it. If I get a second person, man or woman, that does that, I can complete that task. When you complete a task, you're going to gain 6 points for doing so, or 4 points if you've used assistance. I'll go through that in a bit. But the idea is you'll score that, and then you'll pick up a new task. So tasks are really important for kind of giving you an objective throughout the game, giving you things to kind of aim towards. You don't need to complete specific tasks in a specific order, but by the end of the game, you're trying to complete all the tasks you've been given. There are a couple of other things. At the end of each round, you'll notice that your men and women, so basically after you've used your dice, but before you do your event, you can activate one particular type of each of a man or a woman. So for example, I could activate this action on my man, but I have it twice, so this allows me to get 2 resources of my choice. I could activate this activation on my woman. This allows me to travel across water at a value of 2, 4. So I could travel across water using this action to effectively, let's say I was here, I could travel across water in my effectively an end step and build something here. There are so many things to do with this game, but one last thing is you get these God cards. So basically these God cards allow you to break the rule. You collect offerings and God cards, and at any point you can use that offering with the God card to break the rules of the game. One way to break the rule of the game is effectively there's a blue God card that allows you to negate the fact that you need to strictly play lower than. So basically if Jonathan played his blue God card with an offering, he could do that. That's normally against the rules, but the God cards allow you to break the rules. They allow you to break the rules in different ways or just increase the value of some actions. I haven't given anywhere near the justice this game deserves. That's a rough overview of what you do, and you play over 6 rounds, and at the end of the game the most points is the winner.
Right, what do we think?
Well, for me, it's simple because this probably is my favourite Feld and one of my 2 favourite dice placement games. I just love the mechanism with the higher numbers give you better results generally, but they're going to get blocked out as time goes on, and so part of the game's mitigating against that. And it gives you lots of options to mitigate it, but you don't often want, half the time you're thinking, do I really want to mitigate? How do I want to do it? Because I maybe want to use these cards or these God tiles to score points later on, or to just hold them around because you know that it might get tighter later and you might need them in a really bad patch. And I said the scoring tile to give you some sort of objectives is good. You kind of comboing them together along with people to maximise your actions, really.
Okay, Bruce?
For my first playthrough, I really enjoyed it. I think the fact that there's so many different things you can do and so many different tracks you can go down made it really interesting, and the fact that you could just focus on your board and look at the different things on the board and then kind of focus on that, and there wasn't too much take that. The fact that you could change dice and you could do different things didn't mean that you couldn't specifically do an action you wanted to do, and the fact, like I say, that the fact that there were like little tokens as well that you could +1 or minus your dice if you wanted to made a real difference, so I really enjoyed it.
Okay, Steve?
I think it's brilliant, as I will do, because he's my favourite designer. Yeah, it's just so tight. You've only got 3 actions on your turn, and they're restricted to some extent by the numbers you've got on your dice, because obviously sometimes you want a high dice because it's powerful, but sometimes you want a low dice because someone's already gone there and you can't do it. Yeah, that's just such a nice way of doing it. It's very good at mitigating the fact that rolling high isn't necessarily the best thing to do. If you roll 3 6s, you're actually quite worried, especially if you're not going first. So that's really nice. The objectives give you kind of a focus throughout the game. No, there's no one strategy dominates because you have to cater for those objectives. That's effectively you can score 6 points 9 times. Which is a hefty, it's like a third of your final score as such. You also get some bonus points at the end of the game if you manage to do them all. It does give you objectives as well at the end of the game, so basically if you buy jewellery every round you get an extra 6 points. So Jonathan scored a fair bit of points from his jewellery. If you build all your buildings or fill up all that space where your buildings are, you get extra points as well. So doing things a lot is beneficial rather than doing a bit of everything, but as usual a bit of everything will get you points, doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, it's a really, really good game.
Rating out of 10?
It's just brilliant. I'd rate it 9 out of 10.
Okay. Bruce?
I give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
All right. I do really enjoy this one. Of all the point salad games I've played, and certainly Stefan Feld is known for that, this one is my favourite. It's not quite my favourite Feld overall, but it is superb. I really enjoy it. It feels more thematic than most of his other games, but the thing I love about it is I'm just totally engrossed the entire time. You never have enough actions. You're rolling 3 dice each time, and those are your action spots. You only get to place on 3 of those. So there's a ton of stuff that you just don't get to do. So there's so many difficult decisions to make. Oh, I really want this, but I really want that one as well. And so I'm thinking, and absorbed the whole way through. Really love this one. Like Steve, I think I'd be on a 9 out of 10, which for a Feld is extremely high. Thanks very much for watching. That was Bora Bora.